So as the end of 2020 is quickly approaching on us, thank God, the holidays are upon us, Thanksgiving is, and Christmas just around the corner. Isn't it lovely?
And you want to close your contract before the end of the year? Hello everybody, my name is Barry Horvath and this is Moving Forward TV with your local market update.
And I'm DeLynn Gaston. Thank you so much for joining us. And as the year end approaches, it's kind of nice, isn't it, that one, we're getting rid of 2020. I think we're all in agreement on that one.
2020, what a year it has been.
Right? Everybody kind of wants to get rid of that.
It's been like no other. How else can you describe it?
You can't. There's like no words for 2020,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
I'll never forget the meme I saw, kind of like somewhere in the middle of the summer or whatever, and I thought it was hilarious. It was something to the effect of, "Please don't let Tiger King be the most normal thing about 2020."
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Isn't that a good one?
Yes.
But anyway, so as we come, the normal year-end stuff, everybody wants to close by year-end, right? Everybody is pushing to close by year-end, and we get that. We want to do as much as we can by year-end as well. This has been a very unique world this year for the mortgage industry, for the real estate industry. Again, I've said it many times before, I think because of the whole shelter-in-place thing,
maybe that's why people are enjoying.
Real estate's hot.
Yeah, people are enjoying their homes more. People are remodeling more. I talk to my contractor friends.
Stay in their homes.
They want to stay in their homes. There's more stay-at-home activities than ever. So
Right.
yeah, 2020 has brought a lot of that out.
And the other thing that I heard on the news the other day was...
So it must be true.
The thing I heard on the news the other day was that people who are now, when they're looking for homes, they're looking for an extra room because companies are starting to get away from their brick and mortar if they can and have employees work from home a lot more. So people are looking for that extra room so they can have an at-home office. I thought that was interesting.
So with that said, in case you've been under a rock since COVID hit, real estate sales are hot. Volume is super duper high. I love that word, super duper, just so you know. And rates are low. So with the volume out there, if you're thinking you're going to close a contract in 2020 still, it might be a challenge. That's all I can say. You probably need a cash buyer to close now before year end with the way volume is, because right now, if we're asking for 45-day contracts. As you know, a lot of lenders are going longer because of the turn times. And it's the whole process. And I know, DeLynn, you want to do a whole show on just timelines on why does it take so long to close a loan? And it really doesn't. There's just a lot of steps involved. And all those steps add up when so
right.
To close
right.
before the end of the year right now, needless to say, is going to be a super tall order if it's a finance deal.
And when we say we're looking for 45-day contracts, it's not just us, it's the industry. We're looking for the industry in general. It's looking for a little bit longer on contracts. We don't want your buyers to end up in a little bit of a pickle because they can't close in 30 days. We actually had somebody ask us if we can do a 21-day contract. Not right now. I think I said it before, and I think this kind of like puts things into perspective. On average, if a lender is doing 500 loans a month on an average normal time frame, now it's like 800. So you have 800 files that you're trying to get done where you're used to doing about 500. And, somebody said to me one time, we'll just hire more people. We'd love to.
Yeah, come on board.
In fact, you can't find good people right now because everybody is so busy, they're not leaving where they
Right.
currently are. We're even putting out there, our corporate has put out there that, they're looking for good people and putting out bonuses to any employees who can refer good underwriters and good processors. We would love to hire. It's just very hard finding people right now because the industry is so crazy. So we're really asking for patience.
Yes, we are. So let's talk about your analogy on why we can't do it. We have 800 loans versus 500 loans.
Right.
The first thing is the appraisal turn times.
Right.
So appraisal turn times right now, because they're only one person.
Because appraisers are doing 800 appraisals
Exactly.
instead of 500
Exactly.
appraisals a month.
So, we put an order in the system. We ask for an expected date, and if the appraiser can meet it, they accept the order or not. We don't get to talk to them. It's just a rotation through the system. Most appraisers are taking 7 even to 14 days right now.
Depending upon where the property is located.
Yeah, so think about that. If you're waiting for your home inspection and you don't want to pay for an appraisal, I told someone the other day, let's put your appraisal in the queue, because they're like, well, I don't want to order and pay for an appraisal unless I know the home inspection's good. I said, get your appraisal in the queue. If it's not good, we'll cancel it, because it's already going to, the chance of it being back. Oh, check your
Sorry.
queue. Let's get it in the queue, because think about this. If we're waiting 3 to 5 days for your home inspection, and then let's just say it's 14 days for your appraisal to come back, that's 19 days right
Yeah.
there.
No one's going to keep the money. If you cancel, even if it does get charged, we're going to rebate you. We're not going to keep it.
Right, and then put on top of it, underwriting turn times, the volume's high. It's 96 hours right now.
It is.
That means once everything that you were going to get us this weekend, hello, get it to us today.
I know.
This weekend, I'll get to you getting you those documents you're looking for. And then it's all stacked and put together all pretty. And the underwriter is going to take another 96 hours before she even reviews it.
Because it gets in the queue. It gets in the underwriting queue. And we can't just throw it in the underwriting queue the day we get it. It has to go through process. That's what's called processing. We have to order the verifications of employment. We have to order the appraisal. We have to order the title work. We have to order insurance. We have to do all of the things for processing needs. We have to make sure all of the pay stubs match. We have to, when we get the verification of employment back from the employer, we have to make sure that stuff matches. There's an awful lot of steps that the processor has to do and have all tidied up nice and neat before she can send the file into the underwriter. We do try and do that as quickly as possible, but that's why getting the documents up front as quickly as we can from the buyers is absolutely key. And the other thing is, not every buyer is the same. Sometimes people will say to me, whoa, well, I got the approval on, the house that they're selling already from their lender. Not every buyer is the same. If the buyer that we're working with has had 3 or 4 jobs in the last 2 years, we have to verify all of those jobs.
And we have to
As
wait.
opposed to someone he's been on his job 15 years and he's got a salary and,
Couple
easy.
that up with people working from home and getting verifications of employment maybe from that office.
Good point.
Or maybe they don't check in as often with that office.
Good point.
That's another slowdown,
Yeah. Yeah.
Insurance agents are busy. It's taking them longer. You remember we used to be able to get like a bound
is
contract.
pretty quick.
Oh, I need an insurance binder this afternoon. Okay.
Okay. Or we need
They're
a quote.
busy too.
I need a quote right away. I've got to get this in.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Boom.
All of
Yeah.
these things play in.
Surveys are taking longer
Surveys
now.
are taking longer as well. And then once everything is in and approved and you have conditional approvals, you have conditions.
Right.
Those conditions are also taking longer. Right now, what are we like 48 to 72 hours
48 to 72 on
before they can
condition
get
clearing.
back to it. So all these things take time. And it's not us, it's the industry. We're all
Right.
super busy. So, you can be mad and say, my lender says he can do it in 21 days.
Every file is different.
Yep, they are.
Every
They
single
are.
file is different, and it depends on so many other factors, and that's what I try and tell people. I did have a realtor who was a relatively new realtor, and I was talking to him one day, and I thought it was very, very good. He said with all of the people that have to touch a file and all of the channels that have to go through before it gets to the closing table, it's almost impossible for something not to go wrong. It's almost like the game of telephone.
Yeah.
This person has to tell this person who has to do this, and then this person has to do this based on what they did up here. You know, it's almost like the game of telephone. And by the time you get to the end, hopefully everybody has the same message.
Yes.
And if they don't, you got to go back to whoever, you know,
We need to go back to the way
messaged.
we communicated. Like your husband just brought out his iPhone 12, as he told me, and he used telegraph. Then there's no misconstrued messages coming through, right?
Right?
Through those channels, they work. All right.
So,
what do you?
patience. We ask for patience right now. We ask for understanding. We ask for everyone to understand, for the most part, no two files are the same. Sometimes we can get them done very quickly, and sometimes we can't. And you just never know, because it depends on the file. It depends on the buyer. It depends on the seller. It depends on how many liens does the seller have that we have to, that the
that
title
you don't know
company has
about.
to work on getting paid
And
off.
the appraisers, as we know, this just came up, like if it's a cookie cutter neighborhood where there's 12 good comparable sales or 4 good sales, it's easy for them. They can do it. And,
Right.
and sometimes there's a unique property on a river or in the country or something. There's not going to be a lot of good comps for that, so they have to go out further. So they have to do more research. So have patience with them too. It does take longer. You know,
Yeah.
everything is not cookie cutter in what we do. It's just not.
We actually had that recently too, and you're right, and exactly that. It's a house that's on the river, and you know, the people are selling a house that's in a cookie cutter neighborhood. So there's, like, you know, 16 comps practically on the same street, or you know,
Yes.
definitely within a quarter of a mile. But then you get a house on the water. Now you got to go a little further out for your comps and things like that.
They're all different. So,
So yeah, and appraisers are very busy, coupled with, if you have a unique property or something like that, mobile homes, manufactured homes, sometimes some of the appraisers don't want to do those because, again, difficulty in finding comps, things like that. So
yep. So speaking of appraisers, let's talk about we got to shift gears here. Upcoming. Bum, bum, bum.
we're really excited about this.
Again, can I use the word super duper?
Yes, you can
We're
use the word
super duper excited about our upcoming Taco Tuesday tailgate. Yes, you asked for it, you got it. It's our lunch and learn.
We usually do this at announcements at the end.
I know, but
guess
it's
what?
so. But we want to talk about it because this is different. We're the trend centers. We at the mortgage firm Trinity are the trend centers.
So all of
I
you
mentioned our
faithful
company.
lunch and
We don't
learns.
usually do that. Sorry.
The what? I know. All of you faithful lunch and learn people, we all, since COVID came along, we are all missing our getting together at Carrabba's that we used to do on the second Tuesday of every single month, our free lunch and learn to every single licensed realtor.
Hey,
We're back.
it's not free to me.
It's free to them.
Yes, it is. Yes, so
We're back. Guess what? We're going to get together, but we're going to do it safely.
yes, we are. We're going to do it very safely. We're going to do it in a COVID-friendly manner, but we are going to be together, and we're also going to do it via Zoom. So we're going to try something entirely different this month.
A little bit of a hybrid thing.
And because appraisals are such a big, big thing right now, we're bringing one of our star community appraisers on board to talk to you about why your values aren't coming in. Well, you know why they're not coming in. Can I tell them why?
Sure.
Because you're overpricing the houses.
I don't know that it's them, because most of the realtors.
It's the sellers. It's the sellers.
The sellers are just being crazy, and people are bidding over asking price, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. We all know that. You guys all know that, because they really want this house, because these buyers, you've taken them and you've seen 27 houses and they've put offers in on 26 of them and they've lost the bid.
Yes.
And it's not because they're lowballing at all. It's because someone else is coming and saying, I'll outbid them. What's that?
Yeah.
Escalation clause. I'm starting to see a lot more escalation clauses, basically going in right up front saying, I'll go $500 over anybody's top offer. I'll go $1,000 over anybody's
Really?
top
You've
offer.
seen that?
Lots of them lately.
Really?
Yes.
What if one of their friends puts in the crazy offer?
Somebody's going to go $1,000 over your highest price.
Yeah, that doesn't.
It's called an escalation clause. It's a form. It's as part of the
I've
Florida.
never seen that. Wow, that's crazy.
Yes.
So if you, again,
Ask your friend Shane about that when
Yeah.
you have lunch with him later.
if you haven't noticed, values are skyrocketing. And with that come, unfortunately, a lot of appraisals are not meeting value. And I know sellers
No,
are
you
getting
guys know
top
that
dollar.
already.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not coming in.
Yeah.
They're not coming in for whatever reason.
So keep in mind, and Vicki, our wonderful Vicki Rickard is the one who is going to be speaking at our Lunch and Learn on December 8th. And remember, appraisals are in the rear view. And that's what she's really going to kind of like talk to you guys about. And, she's very, very approachable. She is one of,
Not only that, she's pretty
Kara
cool,
and
too.
her, she's very cool. We love her. She has no problem with you guys helping, bringing your comps. I know some appraisers get really about that, but not her.
No, she's like,
bring your comps. She
listen,
would love it.
The appraisers want to bring in the values for you.
do.
Don't think that they're out there not trying to. But after 2008,
Yeah.
when the market crashed, they have their own. They have to do their due diligence. They can't just throw a number out there. And then even when they do, and if they're trying to stretch values, the underwriters for lending have to review what they've done. And they have to sign off on it. So now you have two people that have to say, yeah, this value looks okay.
Right. And guess what? So if the underwriter looks at the appraisal and it looks to the underwriter like the appraisal was pushed just to come in at a number and it doesn't look like it makes sense, she's going to go back to the appraiser and she's going to say, you know what, this doesn't make sense. I don't like this. This comp isn't even a comp or something like that. And yes, underwriters are absolutely, they have to take lots of continuing education and classes. I had a real say, well, they're not appraisers, they're underwriters. Yeah, guess what? They got to do it all.
Yeah.
So they absolutely know what they're doing when they're looking at these because they know what Fannie Mae wants. They know what Freddie Mac wants.
They're the end. They're the end
rules.
game.
Yeah, there are rules and regulations that have to be in place. So the appraiser can't push values because the underwriter is going to look at it to make sure Fannie Mae is going to be okay with it. And if the underwriter has to go back to the same appraiser several times
Right.
because the appraiser was pushing a value or didn't like it, guess what? That appraiser is going to get reported or going to get removed from that lender's list. Obviously, we don't want that happening.
No.
We don't want appraisers to lose their jobs and
Nope.
lose their source of income.
Nope.
So we have to be cognizant about all of this stuff.
And we've had to kick a few to the curb.
we have done that.
Yeah, because
we've just
not
felt-
doing a good job.
Right,
So,
Right.
But we all have to do a good job in this industry, don't we?
right.
So
Everybody's accountable, and that's one of the things that we're going to talk about as well.
at the Lunch
Vicki's
and Learn.
gonna
So let's talk about how the Lunch and Learn is going to go.
Yeah, we do have to talk about
So,
that.
because we're so excited about it, we
It's
didn't
not
want
at
to wait for the
Carrabba's.
show. It is not at Carrabba's. It will be at the West Pasco Board of Realtors.
Thank you, the
it-
Board of Realtors, for allowing us to use your parking lot.
Yeah, thank you. We felt like that would be a good, safe place for everyone to meet. You can,
And we had such a great, sorry to interrupt you, we had such a great turnout and feedback when the affiliates, the business partners did their, I call it a trunk or treat. Me and Lindsay call it a trunk or treat. Everybody else was calling it a harvest festival or a fall
Something.
festival, something or another like that. Anyway, you guys remember, it was kind of like the trunk thing. So we had great feedback from the real estate community on that.
Yes.
They all loved it. It was very safe. It was safe, social distance.
So bring your mask.
Yes, masks will be required.
And we're going to do tacos. We'll probably have
Because it's Tuesday.
Yep, and we'll probably have a pre-order for your tacos. So we'll have your food ready for you. It will be safely served to you by our team. And
So in this case, I know we always say, even when we're at Carrabba's, RSVP so that we have a head count. And a lot of you didn't. We
Yeah.
love you anyway, but you didn't. We really need you to do it this time. Because if you don't RSVP and tell us
yeah,
what
we don't
you
know
want,
if to feed you.
you're
You'll-
not going to have any food.
You'll get a lettuce taco.
No, you'll get nothing. You'll get, we'll bring extra water. You'll get a bottle of water.
That's it. So anyway, we're going to set up via Zoom, via live. Bring your chairs so that you can comfortably tailgate.
Right.
Otherwise, you can sit in your car with your window down. We don't care. It's going to not be like the A&W drive-through, though, I have to tell you. Remember those?
Right.
They put the little clippy tray on your window.
That's right. So we will have food for you, boxed lunches, tacos, and we're going to have some microphones set up so that you will still be able to ask your questions, just like in Carrabba's. Vicki, as many of you know who have been to Vicki's to our Lunch and Learns with Vicki speaking before. She's very interactive. She wants to hear from you guys, and she wants to answer whatever questions you have. So come with your questions. Have some questions prepared for her. Think about it. What do you want to know? And she's more than willing to do that. We'll have a microphone set up, again, very social distancing, very safe, and she'll be up at the front, and we're going to have speakers all around. So it'll be out in the parking lot. It'll be fun. We're just really hoping that that's not going to rain.
Yeah, good point. We do not have a rain date picked out for this. So
we do not.
Look forward to it. Put it on your calendar. It is December 9th. December 8th at 11:30 at the West Pasco board. Look for the link. Sign up for it. We'll take your pre-orders. And it's going to be...
Look for the pre-order little menu that you're going to get so that we know.
Taco
Because
Tuesday, tailgate.
Some people are allergic to things and stuff like that. I mean, can't get anything really fancy, but some people want just lettuce. They're vegetarians or whatever, and they don't want beef, and we don't want to offend anyone.
You went back to my lettuce taco, didn't you?
I did.
All right, good. All right. So sign up for that. Now, let's talk about one more thing. Before we go away, let's talk about these rates.
The other thing that has been volatile.
Yeah, rates. Rates are super volatile.
So let me ask you something. Did you guys watch the news when Hurricane Ada was coming across?
Hurricane ETA?
Ada. The rest of us call it Ada. He calls it ETA. Remember the spaghetti models? They were kind of all over. Yeah, that's rates. That's like a perfect analogy of what rates look like. They look like Hurricane Ada's spaghetti models.
Yeah, so...
They're all over the place.
The biggest thing going on right now is, refinances are a big part of what's going on with the volume. And refinances aren't quick. Like we were talking about turn times on purchases.
Right.
Refinances are way, way longer.
Yes.
So... right now...
Because everybody's refinancing, and obviously the purchase business is the priority.
Yeah.
Because of the contracts and everything, so...
And with the election, there's volatility in the marketplace.
That's one of the things I was saying yesterday to one of my networking groups. People are always asking me every day, what are rates doing? What are rates doing? And, my old line used to be, what if I had a crystal ball, I would be sitting in Washington making a lot more money than I am here. So that's true now more than ever. What we will say is that the interest rates are not following typical trends right now. Well, over the last 60 days, I'd say they were more being based on politically.
Yes.
The interest rates were really but fluctuating due to the political things that were going on prior to the election and even right after the election. I think just recently we're seeing a little bit where it's going back to normal trends, typical trends where stock market, bond market thing. I think it's going back a little bit, don't you think?
Saw it, you saw it yesterday with the rates. You said, hey, look at rates,
Yeah, the rates were very good at one point because the stock market was very bad. And as we've said before.
And that's typical because when
rates follow bonds.
When the bond market goes up, interest rates go down. So, people think...
And bond market works most of the time opposite stock market.
And the biggest myth is, the Fed cut rates today, so my rate should be lower.
Zero.
Let's relock it. Yeah, okay.
Remember we used to joke and we used to say to people, the rates are 2. Now we have to joke and say the rates are 0.
I know.
Actually, in some countries they are.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? They have negative interest rates. That is nuts.
That's not a great investment.
That is not. I wouldn't invest in that country.
It's not a good one. What's funny too is that there is, like you said, no real logic right now. We do have the adverse market fee on refinances, all refinances. I don't care who you go through.
That we do want to give you guys a heads up
Yep,
about. We've been talking about it for the last several weeks here.
It's coming into play now on your rates. So if you're looking to refinance.
Refis only.
Yeah.
Fannie Mae. It's not us.
It's an adjustment to the rate.
Fannie Mae has announced that they are going to be raising interest rates. Now, they say the reasoning for that is because of all of the forbearances that have been going on.
Right.
Lenders are taking a bath,
Right.
and, which means investors. Actually, it's not even the lender; it's investors, because everybody sells their market on their mortgages on Wall Street. Their mortgages on the market. How's that? So, and they're taking a hit right now because of all the forbearances. People aren't making payments, which means investors aren't getting their money.
What's going to happen when all these forbearances are due?
I know. That's
Don't you
the other
wonder?
thing that scares me.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Hopefully, if you are in a forbearance, save your money, save your money, save your money. Try
And you know what? We'll talk about a way in a second. We can help you on that possibly.
Yeah.
When we wrap up. But right now, my suggestion is on rates. If you find the rate you like, lock it in.
Yeah.
And even though 45-day pricing or 60-day pricing may be a little more, it may be worth it in the long term to just go ahead and lock in and be done with it.
Right. And people are saying, well, I don't know if I should do it. I'm at 3.5 right now. You know what? That's a great rate. I would not refinance out of a 3.5 right now.
Well, if you had a $500,000 loan, you can get it down to 3.
True.
Or
And again,
2.75 and
any loan officer out there, any originator out there should be able to run numbers with you and give it to you and say if you think it makes sense or not.
You know what's so funny? You were talking about the spaghetti models, and
Yeah.
I know what you're referring to because there's so many things that affect the rate, the loan size, the credit score, the
They're all
property
over the
zip
place.
code. Is it a cash out? Is it a rate in term?
Right.
Is it, what type of loan is it? Is it FHA? Is it VA? Is it
It's
conventional?
not just credit score.
I'm gonna
People
tell
think
you,
it's just credit score.
Here's what
It's not.
Here's what's crazy. These group chats that are all out there on
Mm-hmm.
social media right now. People are saying, hey, I'm looking to refinance, looking for the best rate. And there's new lenders out there saying, and they'll actually show a screenshot of their rates today. And I'm like thinking, you don't know anything about this borrower and you're quoting a rate. You know what I mean?
That is just
a bait.
Stupid loan officer.
That's a bait and switch thing
Yeah.
because
That is so misleading. That
It
is so misleading.
So if somebody's willing to quote your rate
Without knowing anything about your situation or what you're looking to do.
move on. They're trying to get you in the door.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our soapbox. All right, WPBA front. Listen, we want to help you. We have money to give. If you're a Pasco County resident, we have some support money. We want to help you with your rent. We want to help you with your mortgage payments. We want to help you with your utilities. So go on WPBA.biz, get information. We can help you.
These are for
We
people
know
who are
COVID
affected by
has been-
COVID.
It is COVID
This is
money.
CARES funds that we, our 501c3, WPBA, West Pasco Business Association, we have funds available for CARES, which is COVID-related things. And even if you were, laid off because of COVID last summer and you're back to work now, but you're still trying to catch up, your mortgage payment is running late or your rent payments are running late or something like that, we can help you with that. Even if it's in the past and you're still past due because of the loss. So
Yes.
please reach out to us.
Go to WPBA.biz. All right, thanks everybody. It's been a great show.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys watching here
Happy
today and every day.
Thanksgiving.